here in just a few minutes. Today I'll be answering questions like I do every day pertaining to the Sasquatch of subject. I'm feeling a little dyslexic today. The subject of Sasquatch. So I'll wait for some people to come on. I'm also hoping I could go live on TikTok, but that's not looking very good today for I don't know what reason. Are people on here? How we doing? So the show is an international show. I love that. Somebody from outside of Canada and the US will come into the show. That means we're in different places all over the world. I call it international. I'm always proud of the fact that the show expands and goes all over different continents and different places all over the world. I think that's amazing. Oh, it looks like TikTok just might work. That's sure taking its time. I have to go live. I have to just cautiously hit the buttons just perfectly. So, in case you don't know, I am the writer, director, producer of the Netflix hit documentary called Discovering Bigfoot. If you haven't seen Discovering Bigfoot, I would highly recommend it. It stars me back when I had long hair. And yeah, it was about 10, 12 years ago. Hey, Todd. Hello, Tim. Thanks for tuning in. So, we're almost rolling here. Just wait. I think TikTok's about to pop on. It's loading. It's looking not too bad, though. That's cool. No, it's not making up his mind. Hello, Andy. So people will say boom because the Sasquatch call themselves boom. I think that's amazing that people have picked up on that. When you're out in the wilderness, and if you hear a boom, that's the Sasquatch saying, we're here. And often you can go find a track that will coincide with where that boom was. I've had that happen many, many times. So I'll be drinking a little bit. I'll be drinking a beverage, a non-alcoholic beverage, a little bit during the live show. Looks like we might be live on TikTok. I can't believe it. Nope. Yes, we're going to be live on TikTok, live on YouTube. I wonder if I could. I've been getting flagged. I think I'm getting in trouble for saying that I'm on TikTok and YouTube. That kind of sucks, but I think I said a bad word, so I got in trouble last about 2 weeks ago. I said a bad word or something, so. I usually don't even like to say the name YouTube. I say it's like in Harry Potter you say the video platform that must not be named. Hello, James. Oh, I sent you a text, James. So it's kind of exciting. So I'm always happy to be up leveling with equipment and new things in my life that increase the benefits of the discovery of Sasquatch, and looks like I'm getting a truck. It's pretty cool because it's a tough truck. It's a big 1-ton beast, and man, we beat the crap up. What I put my equipment through is just like I just shake my head and go, "Oh my god!" Like if you see my trucks, they're tutti frutti tires because I'm blowing tires all over the place, buying all these 10-ply crazy off-road monster, well, not just the really super tough tires, sidewalls and stuff, because the trails we go down are just so nasty, like the rocks that we go over. So we are live on TikTok. So my name is Todd Standing, and I am the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with or eyewitness a Sasquatch. It's not a mouthful. But it's also something I have to concentrate to say. So, but I do, and yeah, sometimes, man, I have to. Sometimes I have to go through. You moderators, I would love for you guys to go through comments on the YouTube videos because I can't even do that. So there's no chance I'm going to do that. It's way too much work, and I don't like the way the trolls can take it over. Just they say awful, despicable things, just absolutely appalling. Some of the negativity that can be out there, I don't like going through that stuff because I got to delete block. There's just some things that and it's not like I'm trying to fluff anything. Like if you have a perspective, that's cool. Don't lie. If I catch people lying, like you're lying about me and saying things that aren't true, then I have a problem with that. And then just the hatred, the negativity, just it's really out there, especially on some of my platforms. So you're in the Canary Islands, Paul. What are you doing? Are there canaries there? So are you bird watching in the Canary Islands? I'm just being a jerk. My mama said when you're good at something, just go at it. That's cool. I would love to. And so, hey, Paul, And you know, one of the reasons I got the truck, well, I'm trying to get the truck. I'm working out a truck. One of the reasons I got it is because I'm going to take. So last year when I went to Nia Bay, I took a trailer. I'm just going to be honest. I took a trailer that's probably about 12,000 pounds with a truck that has a 10,000 pound towing capacity through like mountain passes, down steep hills. Oh, it was fun. Heavy winds, boom! The truck's like, it's like the rear wheels are screeching and stuff. It was pretty awesome. So I do some pretty crazy stuff. It's pretty funny. But this year we'll have a truck that has a 30,000 pound towing capacity, pulling probably a 12,000 pound trailer. So it'll be well within the limits of what we're doing. Both of you actually, excuse me, James will meet Paul because James is coming to Nia Bay. And so are you, Paul. So you guys will see each other in Nia Bay. That's kind of cool. You guys are talking right beside each other, and you guys are gonna meet each other and know each other very well. And if you haven't already met, I have trouble keeping track of who's met who on expeditions. It gets a little complicated. James goes out with me every year, and then I go do other stuff with James. So I can't keep track of all the people he knows and who he's worked with. It's a lot. So Dean says, hopefully the spring brings out a lot of new sightings. Yes, I'm hoping that too. Thank you for tuning in today, Royal. Pleasure to have you, my friend. Let's get some. Yeah, all the moderators are on. That's cool. What's my favorite evidence? There's a good question. What's my favorite evidence? Oh man, I'm just such a. It's not special. I love that freaking Patterson footage. Got to understand, guys. Like, so she walked the perfect way to get a visual. She walked at the right time, and then she walked in the perfect substrate and left amazing tracks. I just think like a video of such excellence, because the Patterson footage is real. I'll debate you on that any day, and I'll roast you with it. Like you don't want to lock heads with someone like me or Jeff Meldrum, who really know that you're gonna lose. Like you're gonna get smoked. I'm gonna destroy you, and it's gonna be ugly. How I will debate anybody on the Patterson footage legitimacy. It's awesome how legitimate it is, and the fact that she walked, and you got to understand, guys, the perfect substrate. Like it wasn't too soft, it wasn't too hard. It's just perfect. Left beautiful tracks based on even her weight being. She's in excess of 400 pounds. You know, being a 400-pound being bipedal with just 2 feet, that you could put a lot of weight. You get scrunchy. It can be too slippery, It was just like the guys. It was so fortuitous and awesome that she walked there. I love that. And for personally, I like video 3 where the Sasquatch is 9 feet tall, running faster than the fastest man in the world. And that just does it. So that on my side of the evidence, because there's no tracks, the ground was rock hard, so nothing for tracks. But at the time, I was an excellent tracker, but I hadn't gotten to the elite level that I'm at right now. I've since then. I mean, you got to understand. I filmed video 3 in 2006. That's a long time ago. So I was young when I filmed it. I still feel pretty young, but it was, I was. This is over 20. This is 20 years later, right? So it's been a long time, and I've had thousands of days of backcountry. You get pretty good after 20 years. Like I had a good, 6, 7 years under my belt at that time of wilderness tracking and expertise, not with Sasquatch, but yeah, I love video 3, and then even the Kubota video. What's so awesome about the Kubota video is you can see cheeks moving and nasal flaring. So what we know about the Kubota video, so that's video 8. It's the black, dark face. It's blinking really fast at me because he's pissed off. Um, what we know about it is it can't be a human because the eye spacing is way too much. It's 40% more than a human. It's not like it's a little bit off. It's way off. Like that cannot be a human. So if people say it's a blackface man, you're out to lunch. Besides the fact that I don't have this. I wish I could, because the busted over route, I should say, that Sasquatch went into, the next year that thing was gone. It was on a steep slope, so the snow just washed it away, and it decayed and rotted. I couldn't I couldn't find a speck of it, because then I could have shown you how big Kubota's head was. Because when I got up there, I tried to get a shot of like my foot in the log, and I did, but it's just bad. I didn't do a good job. I should have really stationary and made it great. But I'm telling you, like I know now, after having measured Jake's head and had to compare it to mine, because these preposterous meatheads are morphing my head into a Sasquatch's head that's more than double my size. So I know my head is about 7 inches approximately wide, and I can tell you that Kubota's head was easily. 12 inches. I'm trying to be really conservative. I think more like 14 to be accurate. It was just big. He had big head, big, tall, big, like just big. So that's I like that evidence. The Jake footage, video 5, is amazing footage. So, and it's everything is the footage in different ways are very personal to me. The Jane footage is very personal because I feel like I got that facial shot and I was looking at a Sasquatch right in her face and I had time. Like video 2 and 3 are really quick shots, but I was just there for a long time and I was getting different looks at Jane for minutes, and it was freaking what an experience. Like that was, because people don't know this, but I attempt success, what other people call failure. I attempt success very often, and I lose a lot. So some people, one of my favorite accusations is, "Hey Todd, every time you come out, you know why Todd's not real? Every time he comes out, he sees a Sasquatch," and I just hear a head smacking sound. What are you talking? I don't. Oh my god! Like no, literally back in the day where I was going way back country into a very special area by myself, which increases the likelihood of results. It's maybe 1 in 10 expeditions I'd get some footage. So and then good footage, 1 in 20 expeditions that I would have footage where I'd actually go public and show it. So that's a lot of. I'm talking 7-day expeditions where I'm literally risking my life and just it's terribly difficult what I used to do. So Gary Burton says, Todd, have you heard of Bigfoot taking things from bow hunters, tree stands? I had a large black plastic bag with something in it, tied secure, using my stand 12 feet off the ground. Something pull, and then it stops. Something pulled it. I don't think it's responsible to just you know, I don't know. Could people get at it? I mean, if it's your tree stand and you're a hunter, you're not hunting. What I know about hunters is when you execute your core, you don't want to be 20 kilometers in the bush or 20 miles in the bush or even 3 miles in the bush because you got to get it out of there. So usually there's people that have access to that. People will be pranksters and do stuff. So have I heard of that happening? Not really. Um, what have I heard? Like with bow hunters, Sasquatch seem to have a respect for bow hunters and hunters in general. Quite a bit of respect in general. You can't say this is universal though because every Sasquatch is different. It blows my mind when people, what are Sasquatch like? Every individual is going to be different. Some hate people, some like people. Some are going to be gentle and avoidant. Other ones are going to be hostile and violent, just like anything else, like dogs, like cats, like human beings. Every individual is different. But you're gonna just have to, like, what I would look for, what I would suggest, Gary, like if you've seen my documentary, look for tree bricks, look for tree structures, look for tracks on the ground, listen for sounds and other things. I always want more substantiating evidence. Oftentimes I'll see one tree break that's really convincing, and I'll be like, okay, I see a tree break. This is really Sasquatch. It's showing all the signs of Sasquatch. I'm 90% convinced there's Sasquatch here. I still have a bit of doubt. But then when I see a substantiating tree break, I'm at 99.9%. Yeah, I'm just there with two. I just need some corroborating evidence. Tracks on the ground, tree breaks, structures, Sasquatch sounds, Sasquatch sightings, any kind of, all those kind of Sasquatch evidence are. It's really, really important to get that. Really, really, really important. Let's see if I can get a question here on TikTok. Oh, what's that? Chantel says, is this a recording because there are less than 20 of us and he hasn't acknowledged anyone? No, it's not a recording. I thought I'd been acknowledging lots of people, just not on TikTok. If you have a question, I'll answer it. I'm looking for questions on TikTok. I've been getting some decent questions on TikTok. I'm happy. I see this is why I will not ignore you, but I have nothing to say because nobody's asking questions, and there are many people, 1,000 people on TikTok right now, and yeah, I see 1,000 hearts. What does that mean? 80 plus viewers. Okay, there we go. Anyways, questions, guys. I'll answer questions. Tim Hartford, how I how I'd love to gain in the field, how I'd love to go in the field with you, but unfortunately, health issues won't let that happen. Sucks. Yeah. That's the way it is. So sorry. We do the documentaries. I do the videos that I do are boots on the ground when
How
I'm out
did
in the
that
field.
sound when it vibrated? shit.
What the hell is going on TikTok?
Uh,
Now somebody's talking on TikTok over my thing. If I touch it, will it go big? Wow, that sucks. Got some weird looking drunk guy talking on the bottom of my TikTok screen. I'll go off TikTok if that drunk guy doesn't go away. Yep, there he is. Drunk guy talking on the bottom of TikTok.
Oh, drunk guy. Oh, that's very different. Never mind.
So I'm leaving TikTok. Y'all have a good day. That shouldn't be happening. Wow. Ridiculous. Screw you, TikTok. That is not cool. Okay, so we're just going to go back and stay here on YouTube. Get my thing here. Hello, Gary. Edit down and dump the content out instead of untying the rope and taking the whole thing. I don't know. You guys are probably just talking amongst yourself. That's cool. Hello from Houston, Texas. Paul, Canary Islands. Yeah, Paul, you're out in the tropics. You're a jerk. Actually, I don't mind being here. There's snow out on the ground though. It's tomorrow here. He's in Tomorrowland. If you have pictures, you know what, Paul, here, make me happy. Send me a picture of you on the beach, and then I'll be happy. I'm sure the Canary Islands is tropical. Is that in the British Islands? So, what are your thoughts on Doug Hychek? I can't talk about Doug Hychek. Is my thoughts on him. So, just have to leave it at that. Todd, what is your new documentary coming out? So, for the Patreon followers, it'll be in June. And then I don't know what's going to happen after that. So take it step by step. I should tell you guys too. So I'm going on the Gaia Network on March 21st. I'm flying down to Colorado, and I'm going to do some stuff on Gaia. So George Newry is going to interview me. I'm going to meet.
What is a woman? A woman is someone who identifies.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to meet some people from the network and then have a discussion with them. And yeah, so that's it. George says, "Hi Todd, keep up the great work." Thank you, George. I have no intention of stopping. I really, really love doing Sasquatch research. And if you want, oh man, so Patreon. So for the people that are following me on Patreon, relax. So I sent out the Jane photos supposed to be on February the 15th. If you got the Jane photos early, don't be complaining that where's the March. They come out on the 15th. If you got them early, don't punish me for having given them out early. The due date for the Jane collection was February the 15th. I started the Jane campaign on approximately January the 15th. So after 30 days, boom, the Jane photographs came out. I think that was very fair. March 15th is when the Jake photos come out. So people that got the February stuff early, like they got it like February 2nd or something, they're complaining because it hasn't come. Well, you got it early, so relax. Everything's on schedule. I prefer to say schedule. But yeah, you can if you can easily afford it, it's something you can do. Go make a donation on Patreon. That's the link. Thank you very much, Andy. I'm super excited about the Patreon account because we're gonna get our own thing here. We're gonna get our own channel. We're gonna get our own Bigfoot research. So it's really, really exciting. I'm going after 1,000 Patreon followers, and after I get that, we'll have I'll do every time there's a Bigfoot sighting somewhere. Me or one of my colleagues will fly out there and do a proper, real investigation. The FBI, I think Royal said that. Was it federal Bigfoot investigation? It was pretty cool. So a real legitimate Bigfoot investigation, and then just really cool, well-produced television shows that I will release to my Patreon followers. New documentaries every year. It's just fantastic. Royal says there's no debate on the Patterson film. Oh, believe me, Royal, people are just so ignorant. It's frustrating. One way to keep yourself in perpetual ignorance your whole life is to just make an assumption without doing any investigation at all. And people love to do that. They love to just look and go, it doesn't fit into my paradigm. So if you don't think the Patterson footage is real, you're an idiot. You're a moron. So they name call and they try to attack your character instead of looking at the evidence. If you have something to say about my footage or the Patterson footage, and your response is you're an idiot if you believe that, just know this, guys. That is a buffoon blathering. If you have evidence, if you have something you want to tell me, but they never do they? They never say, oh, well, the foot was this or that was proven this way. They never have anything. Or if they do have, it's just nothing. I've actually never seen, even with my stuff, well, people have the morphine head thing. It's just laughable. Thinker Thunker's an idiot. So, beyond, and why do I say that? Every day someone's coming on talking about the moron Thinker Thunker. Every day I get hundreds of people saying that. And so I have to, I respond. It's idiocy. It's completely preposterous. And I can defend that. And I've made videos that defend it. Just people aren't going to take the time to simply push play and investigate the videos because they're lazy. So, you can just ignore them because it's ridiculous what they don't have a perspective, do they? They've done no investigation. How do you account for Jeff Meldrum has the tracks accepted in the zoo bank as tracks from an organic living being that currently lives in North America? Like, how do you defend that? 5 PhDs have signed off on it. The tracks are real. They're organic. The morphology is legit. The physiology is real. The dermal ridges are from a, amazingly done. Like, the dermal ridges are evidence that would hold up in a court of law. So, it's like, I don't know what to say. Huffcake says you're late. You're not late. You're good. I also think there's no debate about Todd's footage. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Royal. And I never, again, I think about it. Has anybody ever heard something like significant about, oh, that's a smoking gun? Like when you do a real investigation of my footage and my stuff, it's really, like there was some Phil Poling in this other, how am I trying to say this? Other really unintelligent human being did a review of my footage. And I went to look at it. I'm looking at what? And then Jeff Meldrum says, can I? I go, yes, please. So Jeff Meldrum responded to it and just destroyed these people. So, because they're even with my footage though, guys, like I'm not an expert on dermatology. I'm not an expert on physiology, anthropology pertaining to, like, there's so many things I'm not an expert on. But it's not very often I go, yeah, I don't know why that is. I don't. So there's usually a really good explanation that's very logical when I explain my footage. My sister's not a special effects makeup artist. Is yours? Like the preposterous things again. And even if I don't even know how to respond to half these preposterous things that goes on. People lie. Hey, I saw Todd with someone called Survivor Man that knew me, and said, hey, I saw Todd loading a Sasquatch costume in the back of his car. And Les goes, really? Huh. Would you have pictures? Oh, I lost them. Oh, okay. When was this? Where's his address? Oh, I don't know where his address is. So you saw this at his house, or where'd you see him loading it up? Yeah, it was at his house. What's his house address? Oh, I don't have it written down. Really? Well, a car. Tell me about the car. It was a car? The guy goes, yeah, I was loading a car. And Les knew me at the time. And Les says, stupid, Todd doesn't have a car. He's got 2 trucks. You moron. Like, what are you talking about? So you don't even know what you're saying. And just with a little bit of investigation, Les found out that man is a liar. He's dishonest. And that happens when anybody puts me on a radio show or puts me to task. If they have evidence where they think, like, there was a show, I lost all these people in New York State that were followers of mine from the Adirondacks. Like, this whole organization totally lost respect for me because they had this really overweight, disgusting human being who's never been up, knows nothing about wilderness, did a review of my stuff and proved that I was within 50 yards of filming Jake. And they did all this video and this big walrus, ridiculous, disgusting human being bashing the hell out of me. And he proved, because he's this camera expert, he's proving all this stuff. And I did give lens information out so people knew the lenses and the camera and all that stuff because I was transparent with it. And at the end of it, he goes, see, this is proof. It was about 50 yards that Todd was from a Sasquatch. And then all these people, there you go, proven hoaxer. And I went, I was 50 yards away. What? And then they go, see, we proved it. You're a hoaxer. And I go, what are you talking about? I got 50 yards within a Sasquatch. And they go, you can't do that. And I went, pardon me? And they go, it's impossible to get 50 yards within 50 yards of a Sasquatch. So we proved that you're hoaxing. And now they go around saying Todd's a proven hoaxer. Because I admitted and he proved that I was 50 yards from Jake in a couple of the shots. That's correct. So in their little minds, and I say little minds, you can't get within 50 yards of a Sasquatch. Oh, I was reading my rule books of Sasquatch and I didn't realize that you couldn't get within 50 yards of a Sasquatch was who wrote that book? Just funny. You got to laugh about it, right? So yeah, there's just nothing. And I enjoy there have been, man, there was a TV show of these Mensa guys that were supposed to be real smart. They turned out to be such, they wouldn't even put me on the show because they saw my stuff and they go, "Oh, you're just a joke and you're a moron. We'll destroy you on the show." And I said, "Put me on the show, please." And they just never let me on the show. They kept saying, "Oh, you're an idiot and you're a moron. Okay, you little wuss." And I actually spoke back to them very like harshly. I wasn't nice. I told them, cowards, wimps, wusses, sissies. Like, I'm out there in the bush with bears and mountain lions and, scary things, 10-foot tall Sasquatch. And you armchair quarterbacks have your little Mensa group and you're going to besmirch me and disrespect me when I'll go toe to toe with you guys. I'll destroy you guys. So, because I am boots on the ground. I do the theory and I love the theory and I love the science, but I'm boots on the ground. I'm out there, this deep in it every year. So those cowards, I would actually say their name, but I don't even know. I forgot the name of the podcast. But because understand this, I'll debate anybody. I'll go on top, Joe Rogan, Howard Stern. I don't bring it. I have, I did a show with a primatologist. This is years ago, like in about 2009, with a primatologist from New York City, NYC University, NYU. They pre-recorded it and they actually had to stop recording because I was mopping the floor with this guy. Like, he came on with an attitude and he got mopped. It was embarrassing. The end of the conversation was the guy's like pretending to be this gorilla expert and he's got 30 years of gorilla experience. And I go, what? He's talking about wild gorillas noise. And that doesn't make any sense. I go, you're not making any sense. You don't know anything about gorillas. This is gorilla expert. And I go, how much time have you spent with wild gorillas? He goes, what do you mean? I go, how much time have you spent with wild gorillas? He goes, well, I've never seen a wild gorilla. And I'm like, what? What are you talking to me about? Gorillas in the wild? You've never seen them. Well, I've read books and stories and I get papers. You just shut up. You're in your lab. You don't know nothing about gorillas. You're saying the most preposterous thing. You don't have a damn clue. He'd spent 2 weeks looking for gorillas once, but he's never actually seen a wild gorilla. And you're a wild gorilla expert? Like, cool, you know about zoo gorillas, but wild gorillas are very different. You better know that. You better have some cognition of that reality. And this guy's teaching people about, he's got a wild gorilla course. He's never seen one, never been around one. He doesn't know nothing. He's nothing. And this guy's bashing me. So but he got embarrassed and they stopped the show and they said, Todd, we're going to do the show different. We're going to take him right off. We're just going to interview ourselves because you can't be making a mockery of a New York University professor. And I was like, well, he did it to himself. And I have this much sympathy for him. So he should watch who he goes locks horns with because, yeah, I dated Jane. You mean, you're talking about Jane the Sasquatch? That's pretty funny. I thought maybe you meant Jane Goodall or something. That's funny. You got me. Rick Tammy. Hey, that's funny. Tim, the Jack footage says, but it means the Jake footage is my favorite. You spoke on video 3. Was that, no, it was not Jake. That's definitely not Jake. So no. That's I filmed that in Montana and Jake is in Radium, British Columbia. So no chance that was Jake. Todd, how do you like season 6? Oh, I can't talk about Expedition Bigfoot. I don't want to talk about Expedition Bigfoot. I wish them the best. Todd, love your facts and videos. Thank you, Cassidy. Appreciate that. Check out my body of work. Oh my God, we have so much. Does Andy actually has a number? Hundreds of, like, what was it, 400 or 600 or something ridiculous? Crazy amount of videos. So, Todd, what do you think of the Ron Moorhead Sierra sounds? The whoop, yeep, whoop, those are real. I've heard them. I feel it. I'm very strongly in favor of those being legit. I don't know if that's on the Sierra sounds. I'm confused because I've heard different bits of Sierra sounds. The Sasquatch don't do that. That's just some guy. Like, I can literally, or Mike. We do it on my expeditions because there's that extremely unintelligent individual that now he's going. I don't know how viral it is, but it's really going off. He went singing, "Oh, I'm a Sasquatch," like, oh my God, it's really. Like the man's a liar and a deceiver, and he's a hoaxer. Like he's such a not good human being. He lied and cheated John Benedego. He's a completely dishonest man. He's busted using masks that were bad, and we still listen to his evidence. Like it just that's the problem with. It really frustrates me about the internet is the guys that really do well in the field of Bigfoot, like in not in the field, but online with Bigfoot, they pump out everything. They just get a thing, they pump it out, and they if they spend 5 minutes doing research, they'll see it's fake. Like the Sonny Vega stuff. Spend 5 minutes looking in his backstory. The guy's a complete liar and a fraud. He's got totally, unless you think police officers walk around with recycle bins and then pull skulls out and drop them in recycle bins. Like Sonny Vega is an unintelligent, lying, deceitful person, and they pump his stuff out there to get hits and views. And it's frustrating. What am I going to do about it? They go, hey, look, Sonny Vega, another crap thing. There's his mask he keeps using, or this is the dude he keeps using. This is the suit he keeps using. He's a liar. He's a fake. He's a fraud. But they don't do that. They want to make it mysterious. I guess that does good for your clicks. And I cannot participate in that stuff. I cannot. I will not. I refuse. So it kind of puts me in a bad position, I think, because I don't know if there's a market for an unsensationalist like me. Like even like Les Stroud did a real survival TV show, and like I remember him in the ratings and stuff. He'd be like in the top 50. Bear Grylls did a fake, deceitful, dishonest show that was fraudulent. Like the man has fake makeup put on, dirt makeup put on his face, spent his night in hotels, and he was #1 hit. He's a huge sensation. Like he is literally, and this is just the truth of it. He's probably 20, 30 times more popular than Survivor Man, because he's a liar and he's a cheat and he's a fraud. And I know these things. I've seen it. I don't want to talk about it. He's a fraud. It's not true what he does. Les Stroud is legit, real, 100%. People don't like it. So if you don't sensationalize, if you don't lie and cheat, and you're not fraudulent, you don't explode. That's actually a good example of me being real. People go, why aren't people pumping your stuff out there? And why is it all? I give it out like crazy. The reason why is because it's real, because I'm not a sensationalist. Because I didn't do all the drama and the sensationalization of it. I just put it out there. And thank you, Jared. I am having a great day, actually. So, Drank Guy is funny. How did you get on? Like, what the hell? You could just come on my live show on TikTok? If that happens again, I'm not using TikTok anymore. You can't just pop up on my show. Hey, everybody, in the bottom screen, what's up? Like that actually happened. And you can't say I did anything wrong, because I was just scrolling through the comments, and this dude in the bottom, he was actually talking to me at the end. Hey, I'm not drunk. I'm just really swaying a little here. Is he calling me a drunk guy? I'm not drunk. It is funny. So, but it's frustrating because now the people that came on TikTok and wanted to ask questions are gone, and that kind of sucks. So I have befriended Bigfoot's Todd Standing. He's a real deal. Well, Hexy Macer, as I usually say every show, I'm going to do a little rant here for a second. I would love for you to send me bigfootencounter@gmail.com. I know you won't, because 99% of people don't. They come on here and they talk and they have all this Bigfoot stuff, and that's awesome. I would love to hear about it. Send me some info. Send me some pictures. Let's see what you got. Bigfootencounter@gmail.com is the email address. My website is discoveringbigfoot.org. There's a lot of ways to get a hold of me. And I would just love it. What kind of calls or vocalizations have you heard, and what did they sound like? Oh, so many. Like it's quite a gambit. What I do, though, is what resonates to me as Sasquatch that I can tell people is they have huge vocal capabilities. Like it's ridiculous what they're capable of. When you hear vocalizations that are like really, really loud, powerful, booming, and controlled, they're not like busting out of their own frequency to make sound, like raspy and like you get hoarse when you're talking. When it's really like a controlled, powerfully loud sound of some kind, that's a good indicator that it's a Sasquatch. They have huge lungs. They have incredible vocal capacity. I've talked about this a couple times. I don't think I've talked about this in a while, but when Survivor Man did a call way up in the backcountry, middle of nowhere, he did a beautiful. Survivor Man's a singer. Like he's one of my favorite songs in the world is Arctic Mistress. It's like in my top 5 ever. It's such a great song. I love it. So he made out this powerful, just hey, whoop, and it went whoop, whoop. It was beautiful, very loud, very vocal, and harmonic. It was heartfelt too. We were walking. This is in the show. We were walking along, and about 5 minutes later, the Sasquatch heard it on the ground, went up to a mountaintop, and then called back. It took him 5 minutes to get up this mountain. I actually have the trackways and stuff that I went and discovered after. It was really cool. But we heard that exact same sound back to us, but it was literally like 5 times louder than less. You can tell the distance of it and the loudness, but to make that sound exactly like his sound, and it just like Les knew it was a Sasquatch. There's just nothing else could do that. It was amazing. So they'll blow your mind with that. And also at that time, I was learning about how intellectually intelligent they are with something that's called working intelligence, which chimpanzees have, and they've proven that. So amazing, amazing stuff. Terry Gates says, I'm in Ohio, about 20 minutes from Salt Fork. I hear things, but never seen anything. But thanks for sharing. Well, and look for the signs, Terry. Look for tree breaks. Can you make tree breaks in Ohio? Can the trees actually do that? When I was in California, I filmed Sasquatch in California. I knew they were around me. I never saw a single tree break ever. And then I went to try to make one. The trees are like rubber. They can bend and make figure eights out of them. So it's not a terrain where you could actually get that. So in the deserts, you're not going to see tree breaks. There's freaking cactus everywhere, right? So you got to look for different signs that they'll be leaving. So just keep your eye open and pay attention. The discovery process is happening. We are discovering the species. There's so much to discover. So if you have any kind of success going on, if you have any success out there, Terry, just keep moving forward with the discovery process. So have you ran into any aggressive Sasquatch lately? No. No, not really. So yeah, I keep going to the same spots. I'm not really like, so I go to Radium, Nordeg. There's Radium and Nordeg. I did Survivorman Bigfoot, and I got both those Radium and Nordeg in my documentary. And then I go to Nia Bay. When I go to Randy Brisson's spot, there are Sasquatch out there are amazing. Sometimes they can be aggressive. Oh, Randy Brisson is amazing. I miss that dude. So that's part of what this truck gets me. I get this, diesel Cummins turbo truck that's, a few years old. Got some miles on it, but it'll be much more reliable, and I can start doing trips to go see Randy more often. Be cool if you get on Weaponized with George Knapp and Jerry Coble. I will. Thanks, Royal. I've and that could be the show I'm on. It's all good. Let's bring it. I'll dance. I got no problem. I really, guys, like for interviews and stuff, I'm just goddamn fearless. I just have nothing to hide anymore. Not like I ever did. I just feel like everything there was there things I didn't want to talk about before that were really personal. And then I realized that on these expeditions with these people, it's very, very personal. Once the contracts and the business is over, it's personal. That's what transparency is, and that's what telepathy is. It's personal, like so personal. So when you start getting really personal and really intimate with your details about the discovery process that you're going through, which is where I'm at now, you just there's a point where I'm kind of fearless about it. Like I'm happy to talk about it. There are things like, okay, well, this happened, and it's kind of woo, but it happened, and I'm okay with that, and I'm transparent about it. So I'm just not worried about anything with anybody. Field Bigfoot investigators, like we're all, dude, you are you're the man. So we out there, we have FBI jackets, and it's, what do you guys? Oh, we're Field Bigfoot investigators. Thanks for having us. I love that, but that's gonna happen, guys. So fantastic, fantastic stuff. Yeah, and that's okay. Tim meant Jake, not Jack, and I knew that. No worries. Stepper says, "Who's that guy? Who's that one guy that said he was the Bigfoot in the Patterson footage?" Bob Herminus. He's just, and he passed. He even tried to walk with him, body pour completely out. It can't be though. It just can't be. Whatever is true, no matter how difficult it is to believe that, when that truth is exposed, everything else that doesn't support that truth is by definition a lie. So Bob Herminus and he passed a lie detector test. So he's a pathological liar. See, I'll tell you guys this. let's do this incident that happened. So there was a lady at the Edmonton Zoo when I lived in Edmonton that I was working with because I wanted to capture Bigfoot. I was going to tranquilize one and truck it off to the Edmonton Zoo, and we're going to put it in a cage and everything. That's how serious I was, and I thought I could do it. I know, it's funny. I never got to that point, but I had to learn a lot. So anyways, this lady who was like big at the zoo. I was serious about this, and she was seriously considering it. At the same time, though, I was the RCMP was like asking me questions, and and I actually had a hair sample that I gave to them, and they tested it, and it came up as nothing from North America, no known species, and it was a hair, not so it wasn't human. It wasn't human, and it was a hair, and it was not from North America. So this is really adding up. The RCMP were quite impressed. These RCMP that I was working with. Then they found out that they were watching me or something, and I don't know, they were being cautious, and they found out that I was at the Calgary Zoo, and then I was working with a lady there, like the ran the zoo. I'm not going to name her name, but like, oh, you jerk, you just got some hair from a chimpanzee or something. I was like, come on, guys. I'm not there for that reason. So I'm trying to be transparent. They got upset with me. So they made me take a lie detector test, which I was very happy to do. With my first lie detector test. And it was a big deal. Like the highest end, the big high end division of the RCMP here in Canada. They had the best guy come out and do a test on me. And I passed it with really high numbers. Like if I remember correctly, if you're telling the truth, it's a 7, and if you're passionate, if you're really telling the truth, 8. So I got 7s and 8s, and I got a couple 9s in there because it really, was very, I knew that it was Bigfoot that I found. So the whole report comes out, and I'm going to share this report, except you can't. You know why? Because it says at the bottom of the report. So it tells all the numbers. It says that Todd was showing as he was telling the truth about all these questions. Or he's a pathological liar. Well, I know exactly what happened. You take that paper, and everything else would be all omitted, and everything would be blacked out, and the bottom thing would say, or would be crossed out, and it'd say pathological liar. And then people would be walking around going, woohoo, we got proof he's a pathological liar. Because that's what Bob Hermina says. He's a pathological liar. That footage is real. He couldn't possibly have been in any suit. It's just preposterous. He's a complete and utter liar and a fraud. And what are you gonna do? I can't imagine how Bob Gimlin feels about him, because Bob is such a wonderful, nice guy. I've never met Herminus. I don't really want to. So, good evening, Todd. This is from Unknown Cryptid. Just ignore the people that say these things means you're doing something right. And thank you. And I can't ignore them because I want to have some good dialogue, guys. I like it when the comments are like people having good dialogue and debating. Like I like a good debate with good things to say. But then you get some guy in there just idiot, moron, trolling, and it ruins these good debates. It ruins good skeptics asking good, honest questions. And I like that platform. So so I have to deal with them. I'd have to sit there and go, okay, you're a jerk. So I'd go click on them and block, and then it takes 5 seconds, and I go back and delete the comment. So I do have to manage it because I really want some good, man. You guys, so many people are, even the skeptics have good questions. I love to hear it. So we've got to be able to debate without hitting, without being jerks about it. Like is it so hard? So Sparks from Wyoming says, Todd, love what you do, man. Wyoming here is some cool stuff. What happened on the north side of Wyoming on the side of Yellowstone? I want the world to know it's real. Well, and I would want to know what you're talking about, Sparks, because I don't know what happened on your side of Yellowstone with Bigfoot. So bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Or you can send me at discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com, and you get a free photograph automatically. So yeah, please. I'd like that information. One of the most amazing. So oh god. So one of Jeff Meldrum's mentor, really nice guy. His name's he's got a cool name. He's a fish and wildlife officer. He's got a PhD too. Minkowski. Oh, it's right there on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, this amazing man had a Bigfoot encounter with like bacon on the tent. And that's in Wyoming. So Mayanzinski. So I guess he'd be Dr. Mayanzinski. Had an incredible encounter there. I think a Sasquatch was even shot there or something. It was pretty amazing. And yeah, that's one of Jeff's mentors. And Jeff really, based on the character of the person, really believes that incident to have transpired. Jess says, knowing how they tend to avoid trail cameras, has anyone ever tried using 3 to 4 at a single location? It wouldn't work. You can't. Jess, for God's sake, they can see the cameras a mile away. They'll watch you put the cameras out, Jess. Like you're really dealing with levels. When you put cameras out, you're being very deceptive. You're leaving deceptive energy around. And this is not something that's crazy. So listen to this, guys. We know that scent particles are all over the place, right? And these particles can be smelled by dogs and bears and different animals. We know they're real. This is not woo. In those particles, there are feelings that you put out into them. If you're being deceptive and sneaky, you put out these scent particles, and literally the energy of those particles is deceptive. We know these facts from when dogs are hunting their quarry. When they pick up the scent of the quarry, they make a certain sound, and then when the quarry is aware of them, at that point, there's fear in the particles, and it's not like the fox is pissing himself or something like that. It's that the animal's energy in the particles are sensed by the dog's empathic ability. Empathic and telepathic abilities are real. Sasquatch are highly telepathic. So if you're walking around and I'm going to put these cameras up and you're literally being deceptive, and they're going to feel that energy. They're going to feel that from you, and they're not going to go anywhere near any of your stuff. So it's not even the trail cams, guys. I'm literally trying to explain to you the layers of how far ahead these beings are. They are telepathic. You must understand this. Telepathy is real. We're proving it more and more every day. And these beings are telepathic. I have so much evidence to substantiate that. I would be dishonorable to sit here in front of you guys and go, well, I'm wishy-washy. No, I'm not. I've seen so much evidence of remote viewing, remote speaking, telepathy with Sasquatch. They're highly, highly telepathic. 100%. So if you can't get on board with that knowing, take your time and try to figure it out. I mean, I've never sat down with a person in 5 minutes and not proved they had telepathic abilities. Every single person, the biggest skeptic in the world, I'll question you and I'll prove you're telepathic. And then you'd be like, okay, now where do we go? Telepathy is real. Sasquatch are highly telepathic. You can't put out game cameras without having that energy, without feeling that deceptive, and they're going to get you. They're going to be distracted from you because you're being dishonest. The day that I could put out game cameras and not feel deceptive, that's how I would ask. So now what I do is when I go in with a camera, I'm asking them for footage. Hey guys, I'd like this footage. I'd like to use this. I want to use it for these reasons. Because I believe I have strong evidence to substantiate that they've given me the footage in the past. All the footage I have, they did give to me. They wanted me to have. And the Patterson footage was done on purpose. I have this incredible story. Like literally without being the slightest bit of doubt in my eyes, I'm going to tell you guys something. There is a level that when you understand the quantum, the telepathy, this what people call woo, these are now scientific facts. You can't exist in a reality you don't make. Like these are quantum factual realities. Quantum physicists are doing these things. Sasquatch have been doing it for probably hundreds of thousands of years, and they're literally so many levels up that it's not even surprising how they've dominated and been able to evade our species with all our technology. Their quantum telepathic abilities are so advanced that they can smoke us, right? So that's what you have to know. You have to know that. You have to really get on, because I'm living proof that these things legit, because I'm getting and generating success that has never happened before in the history of humanity. Literally, our quantum knowledge and technological knowledge is now kind of matching some nature knowledge, and it's coming up, and we're starting to understand how they do all these incredible things in the quantum realms on a quantum level. It's so powerful. It's so important, and it's incredible. It's absolutely amazing. These scientific truths that are coming out are blowing my mind, and I'm not even really surprised by it. So that's what this discovery is about, guys. It's not about a new billy ape or a new gorilla species running around the bush. It's not that. Otherwise, we would have outdone them. We would be able to wipe them out like we do with gorillas. We can't do that. They are a dominant species. They're dominant over us. How could you even argue? I'd like to have somebody debate that with me. Okay, we're dominant over Sasquatch. Really, technologically, yes. But spiritually, on a quantum level, And overall, on an overall level, who's the dominant species? Well, if you're going to argue us acting like a virus is dominating this planet, maybe. If you're going to argue living in equilibrium and having the ability to evade another one, like literally, if you look at it this way, they know we exist, right? There's no Sasquatch going, people don't exist. They see the roads, they see the people, they see the helicopters. They know that's us. We don't know they exist. The majority of human beings don't know or don't accept that they exist. So they're aware of us and we're not aware of them. Who's the dominant one? I think that pretty much ends the debate, doesn't it? So who lives in beautiful equilibrium? Who's found a way to thrive in a way that is sustainable. They did. They always have. They do. We, not so much. We're having some trouble getting that sustainability. So that's a level of dominance to me. And then the other things, telepathy is a dominant trait. Working intelligence is a dominant trait. All the knowing to even imagine how brilliant this is, guys. They know, and I teach this to my expedition. I'm going to tell you guys this. They know that if they pick up an axe and start chopping away and rely upon anything, if they start making fire, they will separate themselves from nature. The more you need fire, the more you need an axe, the more you need a pair of shoes. Once you go down that road, you can't come back. I can't go take off all my clothes and live naked in the wilderness. I would die. Sasquatch, no. That's only because I'm domesticated. There was a time where I could back in the day, but I've domesticated myself so much that now I'm not a part of nature. They fear going down that road. They're intelligent enough to know you don't touch an axe, you don't pick up any technology, you don't walk around with things because you become dependent and beholden upon them, and you lose your freedom. They're truly what it is to be free. And I don't know any human being anywhere that knows really even anywhere near the level of freedom they do. They'll never pay taxes. They go where they want, they sleep when they want, they eat what they want when they want, they're just totally free to do whatever they want, in nature anyways. So that to me, I guess I'm debating myself here, right? But that to me shows a level of absolute brilliance. And that's a lesson. So in life, ladies and gentlemen, you must learn what not to do as much as you need to learn what to do. Don't cross a road in heavy traffic. Don't do drugs. Don't get drunk all the time. These are things you must know what not to do as much as to what to do. My point with this is a road we went down, we accepted technology, and it's making us kind of insane. We're coming to a head with all this damage it's doing, especially to our youth. It's not good. I don't think anybody's there going, wow, everything's really all sunshine and rainbows right now. It's not. There's not good equilibrium, and it's scary about our future. They've learned from our mistakes, haven't they? They knew the native people, and they see what happened to the native people and how they are today, and it's not good, right? So don't go down that path. That's a bad path. People chose that path. They're like, we're not going down there, and we know how to stay away from it. We're happy in our perfect equilibrium. We're happy walking around naked, needing nothing, no glasses, no brushing your teeth. They don't do none of that stuff. They don't wear hats. They don't need sunscreen. They roll out of wherever they slept, they roll out, and they slept comfortably and well because they're in perfect equilibrium in the land, grounding and attached to nature in beautiful ways that we have lost, being so domesticated. And domestication equals you're being jailed up. You're literally losing your freedom. Only a wild thing can be free, and we are not wild anymore. We are heavily domesticated, and it's despicable. That's what is really the lesson with this species. That's why I'm just going around telling people, yelling at the top of my lungs. We need this discovery, guys. The most man-like species is right out there right now. They don't need to brush their teeth because they eat as much sugar in a year as some of us do in a day or two, right? That's not good, right? They're grounding, walking around with barefoot on the earth, and their bodies are finding equilibrium, and we need that. There's so much to learn from this species for us to get back to thriving. In nature is where all your greatest advances come from, not in these technological cities of cement and glass. It's not good, and it's not sustainable. Go to old cities. They're decaying and falling down. It's a mess. It's rubble. These technologically advanced cities are disgusting when they fall down. Go to those, Detroit, and I've seen those slums, man. They're like, you can't fix that. It's cement and insulation and fiberglass, debris and garbage and wiring, and that's not going back to the earth. That's some serious ugly, and that's what our technology has done, and it's not cool, guys. It's not sustainable. So that's why I'm so passionate about this discovery. It's going to bring us back. We got to find some balance because we're not doing very well as a species. We're doing good as a species right now, and Sasquatch can help us do better. And that's really what I'm here pleading with you is get back to nature, learn about, organic, and do what you can to stop being so damn domesticated. Go out, get some fresh air, go for a walk around barefoot, ground, get proper sunlight, get your vitamin D. There's all these incredible things that they're so simple, but we don't do that anymore. And it terrifies me for the future of my species, because I really care about human beings. You guys really matter to me. All of you, all human beings matter to me. I think we're an amazing species, and we're not beyond saving. And most of the Sasquatch I deal with feel that same way, and that's why they're out there interacting with me. That's what this is really about. So you see the changes that's happened to me over this last decade or so. Species protection, we need to help them, we need to save them. No, we don't. They need to come and save us. And that reality has been a big punch in the face for me. And I hope that this kind of sinks in with you. I want you guys to drink clean water, get exercise, stay fit, take good care of yourselves, buy organic food, stop buying that chemical crap that's poisoning the hell out of us. GMO, get rid of that stuff. It's really bad. Stop buying it. You vote with your dollars and what you purchase. So take care of yourselves, because when you're healthy, we're all healthy. We all get healthier together, and it really freaking matters, guys. It matters so much. I'm pleading with you on behalf of the Sasquatch. Take care of yourself. You're a wonderful gift. This life that you have is a wonderful gift. Go be amazing. Go shine. Go be bright. Go kick some ass. So thank you very much for tuning in. Cool video coming up this weekend for Sasquatch Sunday. Watch the last one. It was pretty cool. The toddler Bigfoot I started talking about. So really cool video from last Sunday, and lots more to come. The discovery is happening. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be a part of it, even to this date. If I ended my days tomorrow, I love that I've been able to partake in so much of this discovery process, and so much more to come. Take care. Bye for now.